in a lot of ways, she supported who I supported, in that 30-year period when she was really into sports. And so we would always have Thanksgiving dinner over her aunt's house, Elizabeth. And one Thanksgiving, this was the Thanksgiving of 1971, and it was a game of the century, Nebraska versus Oklahoma. And it was one of the best football games I've ever seen. And so my mother and I held up Thanksgiving dinner to watch the end of that barn burner game. Now, 6 weeks later, my team, Nebraska, which won that game, they're playing in the Orange Bowl. And they're playing Alabama, coached by the legendary Bear Bryant, and they were 12-0 as well.
Well, offensively, Nebraska is really just blowing them off the field. They are overpowering them in the line offensively. Defensively, Alabama has yet to...
And we're sitting there in the living room on Kennerly. And Nebraska just starts running it up. I mean, I think at halftime the score was like 28-0. And I'm for that. This is my team. But I'm like, I feel sorry for Alabama. And my mother's head whipped around like an owl and said, never feel sorry for the enemy. I was like, it's just a football game.
When I see petite people walking really big dogs who control them, that will always remind me of Ida.
Ida decided she needed a dog in her condominium. The dog's name was Maxie. So you're just drumming up all kinds of things. Maxie was about as big as Ida was. We would take Maxie to the park. Now, I'm not a dog lover. I'm not an animal lover at all. But I would, if I wanted to be with Ida, I had to take in Maxie too. So Ida, Maxie, and I would go to the park. One day, I did not go.
I saw Ida in Forest Park on a Saturday morning, and I didn't know it was Ida. I saw this petite woman walking this really huge dog.
Maxie got loose.
And the dog decided to run.
Ida went running after her to catch her.
And this woman tried to stop the dog from running.
And Maxie drug Ida.
So the dog ran circles around the woman, wrapped her in the leash till the woman fell to the ground.
Through the grass.
And I look and I'm thinking, that's Ida. So I went over, I said, Ida, are you okay? She said, will you please help me unwind this dog? And the dog was happy and dancing all over Ida. She's on the ground wrapped up in the leash. And whenever I see people whose dog is walking them, it makes me think of Ida and it makes me laugh.
One time I had known her that well, she came to work and she was wearing this wig and she had it on backwards and the tag was in the front of her head, right? So I said, I don't want to be, I don't want to insult you or anything like that, but you got that wig on backwards. And she said, I do, and she just took the tag and switched it on, slapped that in front of me, and that was that. That's when I knew we would be good friends. And we would go to Chicago to see Jackie because Ida loved her red beans and rice. Because Jackie's an excellent cook. So we'd go there and get red beans and rice, and Ida would just be in heaven. She'd take a bite. That's how much she loved red beans and rice.
Breakfast with Santa, it was either at, it may have been at Famous, it may have been at Sticks, I forget which store it was downtown, one of the big downtown department stores. We, Vicky, a bunch of Ida's friends and relatives, we took all of our kids to Breakfast with Santa's as a group, and she would remind us every single year, okay, gotta get a Breakfast with Santa tickets. All right, it's on this date, we're gonna go. Okay, you make sure you're there, get the kids there. And we all took our kids to Breakfast with Santa for as long as you can imagine.
Listen to this man they got now, 45. Oh my God. And people just go along with this guy. 45 say, no matter what, he said he could go out in the middle of New York City and start shooting people and nothing would happen to him. That's what 45 said. Every time 45 opens his mouth, he's lying. And whites just go along with him. He's the president. Yeah, show you right.
Show you right.
All the time. When I was a kid, I had never heard anybody say that. And I was like, I don't know what it means, but I like it.
Show you right. Show you right. Another one of Ida's powerful statements. You hear it all the time. Show you right means, well, any damn fool in the room would know that this was gonna happen. Show you right.
Fake the funk. I mean, and she would say fake the funk, and then she would, that was a fake the funk, and you can fill in the blanks. I mean, when she said, so if she gave a person the label fake the funk, I mean, that's a wrap. It's done. She has no respect for you. I mean, she may speak to you. She may be cordial, but in her mind, she's like, nothing's happening. You don't bring anything to the table. You are most likely you're a person who fronts like he's doing something or she's doing something, but really faking the funk.
At the sound of the beat, speak. I'm trying to think if it was a different one, but that was pretty much at the sound of the beat, speak.
What was your very first impression of her?
Sunglasses. I always see her in these cool glasses. Like the frames are always like different, kind of like avant-garde looking. And then it was just like shade, you know? So that was something that like I'll always remember and I always think about with her is the tinted glasses. I know
She wanted people to be registered voters so that they could make change. She saw the voting process as a change agent mechanism.
The title of the film includes the word warrior. How did you experience Ida as a warrior?
Because she was always fighting something. She was either fighting for voter registration, she was fighting for the community to be cleaned up, she was fighting against anyone who was unjust, she was fighting for her patients, which were mentally challenged patients, because the state of Missouri had closed the mental health facility here in St. Louis. She was fighting for that. She would write letters, she would make phone calls, she would do anything that she possibly could do to influence a change.
The moment I think that defined my relationship with Ida was when I decided that I wanted to be a mother. And once again, I was afraid, and she talked me down and talked me through it. And I always love her for that.
hope and pray.
Yeah.
Be rosy, be be optimistic, We got to be. And pray for the children.
Yeah.
Gotta pray for them.